A classroom mission statement is a great way for you to work with your students to create a goal for your classroom based off of the values that you have. And the way this works is collaboratively, and you give your students a voice and you have this classroom discussion to figure out what is important to you as a group and what are you going to do to realize those goals and those values. So the first thing you want to do is to define the role, especially as a student or a teacher. Before you can create this mission statement, you need to know what the roles are that are included in this. So a student is going to be a sibling and a child to their parents, but you want to differentiate that and you want to concentrate on you're a learner, you are responsible for your own education, you may be a helper in the classroom, you may be a caretaker of maybe a classroom pet. So you want to define that because that's going to be included in this mission statement, or it's going to be kind of a prerequisite to creating this mission statement is understanding those roles and how they influence your mission statement. You also want to think about the classroom environment. What kind of environment do you want in your classroom? And an example of this might be how loud it is or how quiet it is. Are students working individually and quietly at their own desks? Or is there going to be more discussion and more collaboration where students might get a little bit louder? What does that look like? The next thing you want to do is to define a model student or a model teacher. What does it look like when students are doing their very best? What is a student supposed to do? What are they supposed to be? And you want to kind of go over that with your students and ask them, what do you think that means? What do you want to be? If you are a model student, if you're the best student you can be, what does that look like? You also want to create the goal. What is the goal for your classroom? What do you want to accomplish here? Is it so that you can have high test scores? Is it so that your students are ready for civil life and are good citizens? What is the goal of your classroom? And then determine your core values as well. And maybe this comes first. What are your values? What is important to you? Is it important to learn well? Is it important to collaborate? Is it important to show respect to each other? What is the most important thing that everything kind of boils down to? And then you want to envision success. What does it look like if you're able to do all of these things well? What does it look like? And then you can use that as a measuring rod for your class. Did we meet this goal? Is this what our classroom looks like? This vision of success, is that what we have here? And you can use that as a basis to determine whether your mission statement, if you guys are living up to that. And then another piece of this is to create a list of habits. What are the things it's going to take to get to where you want to be? So this might be helping classmates, doing your homework, being responsible, reading every night. Depending on what your goal is, what your values are, what are the things you need to do to get there? And once you have all of those pieces, you can write it down all together and have it in one spot and refer back to it throughout the school year and say, these are the things that we've agreed are important to us. And here are the ways that we can get there. Are we doing these things? And what do we need to change if we're not? I have resources for you to be able to put this all together so that it's straightforward for you, step by step for your class, and you can put that on your wall for your students and for you to reference in the future.